This is the most talked about manifestation method taught by Neville Goddard over the last 100 years. It's the most powerful way, arguably, on the internet, how to manifest whatever you want in literally just 3 days. Screw 3 months, this is 3 days. I'm going to also explain the power of the psychology behind it and why it actually works. But if you're like me and you want to understand the actual reasons on why it works like this, then I'm going to also explain that too. Neville Goddard teaches about how you can manifest in 3 days, and you first need to be in a state of akin to sleep. You might have heard about this, you might have never heard about this. Neville Goddard teaches about how you go to sleep in the state of the wish fulfilled. But the secret is you have to do this before sleep. This is the most effective way. I'm going to go over exactly why this is the case, the psychology behind it, and how this is going to actually work in 3 days, because it's insane. This one lecture that Neville Goddard did, he gives an example of someone that did this, where they are basically visualizing the dream of their life and they are living in the wish fulfilled, and they do this in a state of akin to sleep, aka as you're falling asleep. He states that you have to create a picture of you living in that life. You do not manifest, you do not think about how you get there. That is up to the higher power. That is up to the universe to decide and think of the most path of least resistance, right? So you fall asleep thinking of this image in your brain, right? On this first night of you living in the state of the wish fulfilled. So say for instance you want a house, you don't think about you buying the house. Nobody cares about you looking around the house. Nobody cares about, or the universe doesn't care about how you buy the house or what actual price it's at. You live in the house in the end result. You are going to sleep in your bed, you're making food in that house. This is you living in the house in the end. You might even look at your bank account and you see that you've got so much money left because you got the price for such cheap. This is how you live in the end state. So this is what you do before you go to sleep. He gives an example in this lecture of a person that they had just met, just 6 months prior to the manifestation actually occurring. This is what he says: forget the means, forget the money. As if you really want your own firm, because I assume he wants his own firm, right? This is an auto part firm, which in English is basically like car parts shop. This is what I would do if I were you. Tonight when I go to sleep, I would make a certain drama. Take people who sincerely love you, your wife, your children, and think I love you, so include me if you want to use me. But make a scene of what if true would imply the fulfillment of your desire, that you only own this auto supply company, and this is how it works. But you must, above all things, when you carry on the inner conversation with those who will be sincerely thrilled because of your successful transaction in closing the deal to own the thing, but also in the successful running of it. So he is saying to create a drama with people who love you, being excited about you owning that thing. Right, so in this scenario, he says create a drama around your family, being super excited and proud of you owning this thing. But it also says, and the successful running of it. There are so many times where people attract things and then that attraction and that desire goes straight out the window because they don't manifest them actually doing it on a daily basis. They manifest the moment they get it, but they don't manifest the actual successful running of it, and it quickly gets swept away from their feet. So this is really important, and I'm glad he mentioned this. And you must capture the feeling, okay? Feeling is truly the secret. You must feel the reality of what you're doing. If you watch other videos on YouTube, you're going to hear the fact that Neville always says the feeling is the most important thing. The feeling is the manifestation. The feeling is the believing, right? You have to feel it. You can't just, like, even when you're doing robotic affirming, for example, you have to actually feel it when you're doing the affirmations. This was December the 5th, and by January the 5th, just 1 month later, he received a letter of the guy advertising a new firm in the mail. So he had it 1 month later. Neville received an email in the mail, not email, obviously back then, this was like 1960s. In the mail, he received a letter of this guy advertising his new firm. This is how Neville knew that he got it, is he got the letter in the mail. He also contacted the guy, obviously. It says, although the guy had no money, when he attracted this, he ran into another man. This is how he did it. So Neville obviously reached out to him and asked how he did it. He ran into a man in another store who owned lots of properties and expressed an interest in casually selling some. This guy then expressed that he would love to own his own firm one day, and the other guy says, here, you can do it like this, and they did it in a certain, not to go into too much detail about finance, but in a certain bridging way where he doesn't actually pay any money for it. He just starts operating it, and then he gets a percentage of the money from him operating the firm. So it's still his firm, it's just he gets paid. He actually pays the guy who used to own it in like profits. That's how he did it. So there's always a possibility. We always think, oh my god, there's no possibility of me ever doing this, it's impossible. There is always a way, guys. Just because you don't know a way, it doesn't mean there isn't a way. So this is all about creating an imagination, creating a scene with a drama, a conversation. It's filled with excitement, it's filled with the initial moment you find out, and then you might skip to another scene where you're successfully running it and everything. It's all about creating an animation and it's something exciting. The whole important part here is to get excited. Now, I'm going to actually talk about how you're going to be able to do this. Exactly how, why it works, and this is going to make the most sense for you. For me, I like a logical explanation behind things to actually, you know, 1 + 1 is 2, do you know what I mean? I can't just go from 1 to 2, like, I'm like, how does it happen? Like, how does this work? Then I'll believe it. So this is exactly the science behind it. And this is also what I have known and discovered, and I've learned from the past. A state of akin to sleep is basically where the subconscious mind is the most open, right? This is because, number one, there is 2 reasons why this is the most successful and effective way to manifest something. We all know it is all about believing. This is the end result is because you believed it has happened. You have caused it to happen because you believe it has happened. In my last video I mentioned that you can manifest for weeks on end, but if you truly believed it could happen, it will happen the next day. Or within hours, instantly even, right? But the whole reason people are manifesting for weeks, months, days at a time is because they are always reprogramming their brain to truly believe it is going to happen. If we can just skip to the whole stages and believe it's going to happen, it will happen like literally instantly. It's all about our beliefs. So before you go to sleep is when you are the most relaxed. This is where you're going to reprogram the subconscious brain. You can do whatever you want in the daytime, but the best time to do it is at nighttime. So if you want to just do it once a day instead of 3 times a day, like small little 3 times a day, like, oh, manifest here. If you want to do it 1 time and make it super powerful, you do it before bed as you're falling to sleep. It's when you're the most relaxed and the least amount of mental resistance, okay? This means that basically your brain power that is telling you otherwise, all of those limiting beliefs, your conscious brain, right, is turned off because you're relaxed. Your brain is literally falling into sleep right now. It is turned off. Like this nagging part in the back of your brain is turned off. You're the most relaxed. Another reason is when you're in the theta brainwaves. So we have 4 different types of brainwaves. We have beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Alpha is basically when you're wide awake, super like concentrated, excited, like doing things throughout the daytime. This is when obviously your subconscious mind is at play. You know, you might do your affirmations in the daytime, but then you can still feel like, oh, like I don't truly believe this. Like I've got my old thoughts thing, oh, it's not true. It's because your brain is the most active in this point of the day. You've then got beta, which is relaxation, which is also great, but you want theta, right? Theta is the 3rd way. It is deep relaxation. Then you have delta, the 4th one, which is literally just you're asleep, fully asleep. So theta is what is the most important. Guys, when you're between the ages of 0 and 7, right, you are in theta brainwave state most of the time. When you're a child, you're a sponge. You are literally absorbing the entire world. You're creating your thoughts and beliefs. The crazy thing is as an adult, most of your thoughts and beliefs aren't even your own. They're what you heard as a kid when you was in the 0 to 7 age range. When you was a sponge, when you was literally absorbing all of these truths. You don't have no critical thinking when you're a child. You literally just absorb it in. You don't think, is this true? Could that be true? Is this possible? You literally, your mum says something, that is facts to you. Your dad says this, that is facts to you. You don't know any different when you're a child. You're in theta brainwaves. You are literally being hypnotized. When people get hypnotized, they get put into deep relaxation states, it's because the person is hypnotizing them to have new beliefs. Your brain is being reprogrammed by that hypnotist. This is why they get you into deep relaxation. They get you into theta brainwaves. My stepdad got hypnotized to not smoke. He is like a biker man. He is not into spiritualness. He's not into nothing woo-woo, nothing. Literally, he's like a super, like, literally he doesn't believe anything, basically. He's like a hard nut biker man, basically. He got hypnotized to not smoke. It's been 15 years and he hasn't smoked. This is how powerful getting into that theta brainwave state is. I don't care who you are, it's literally science. So you're most relaxed and you're in your theta brainwave state. This is why it is so important to go into it. And guess when else you're going into your theta brainwaves? Before you go to sleep. So if you want to reprogram all of those beliefs from when you was a kid, maybe you didn't have the best, maybe you don't have the best beliefs, maybe you didn't have the best childhood, doing it before you go to sleep, imagining all of those thoughts that you want to then absorb, this is going to be the best time to do it, before sleep. That's basically it. So again, Neville Goddard teaches you to, before you go to sleep, to create a picture, an imagination, a drama scene, an animation, he even says sometimes, an animation of you living in the end state, people being excited for you, because let's be real, we all care about obviously what our family think, and we're going to feel so rewarded when other people are there. So if you struggle to think about what you would feel like in the end state, try and imagine what other people are going to react to you. Your family, your friends, they're going to be like, oh my god, it's so amazing, like I'm so happy for you. That is what you need to be imagining, basically. And then you will really feel the feeling, the excitement, and then you can use that to carry on and live your day in the end state. You're going to be relaxed, you're going to be in the theta brainwaves, and you might even find yourself dreaming about it. That's also a really good sign that you fell asleep actually thinking about it, is when you start dreaming about it, okay? Your belief systems are going to be reprogrammed so damn fast if you fall asleep with these new beliefs. You could even fall asleep affirming one statement or two statements, but this is going to be the fastest way to reprogram your belief system, because remember, if you believed it wholeheartedly, it would happen instantly. The only reason why people have to manifest for weeks, days, months on end is literally just because that's how long it's taking them to rewrite those old beliefs. A lot of people don't know that you have to do this as you're falling asleep. Some famous inventor, I don't know whether it was Tesla, I don't know if it was an Einstein, I really can't remember, but basically someone used to purposely nap in the daytime. He came to his most best ideas, his most creative mindset, his best inventions came from him falling asleep and instantly waking himself up again, because his hand would relax and he would drop the stone and it would wake him up instantly. That is where he got so many ideas from. This is also again because of the state akin to sleep. You're literally biohacking your brain right now, and a lot of people don't even know that there's different brainwave states. So anyways, I'm going to keep it there because it's getting a very long video now. If you have any suggestions for another video that you'd like me to produce, then just comment it down below, and yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye.